We're back, so let's get into it. Coming up on NBA Today, with fresh eyes and the season just a few weeks away, we're going to wrap up the biggest moves of the summer. Plus, how realistic is it that we see Luka versus Giannis in the EuroLeague Finals? I mean, after Doncic dropped 42, what more magic does he have in store? But tonight, Chiney, it is all about the playoff race in the WNBA. Hey, Chiney Ogwumike, Malika Andrews, sis, we're back. 2 games for most teams across the league. Positioning, it has gotten tight. So what do you say? Let's take a look. 1 game in the W last night. The Dream needed the win to overtake the Aces for the 2 seed. Let's take a look at how this one went down here. The Dream taking on the Sun in Atlanta. 3 minutes left in the third. Dream up 9. Ryan Howard drives.
Okay, and 1, Sun.
Gets the layup plus the foul. The Dream up by 12. Howard led the Dream, Chiney, with 18 points.
Yeah, she's tremendous, especially coming on strong when it matters most. That woman right there, Alicia Gray, is a tough bucket, tough off the dribble, but more importantly, when she's knocking down those shots, they're a tough team to beat.
So the Dream up 21 at this point. Gray finished with 15 points, Chiney. The Dream win this one 87-62 in this one. And you can take a look here at the WNBA standings, seeing how this one shook out and how it impacted here what we're looking at for the playoff race here. So you see the Minnesota Lynx standing strong at the
they're
top.
sitting pretty.
But here's the Dream now with the 2 seed. They've been jockeying with the Las Vegas Aces here for that 2 seed. But there's still plenty at stake, Chiney, in the WNBA, starting tonight, where the final spot of the playoffs is on the line. The Storm, they can clinch that with a win tonight over the Valkyries or a Sparks loss in either of their final 2 games, either against Phoenix tonight or against Vegas on Thursday. The Valkyries, they've been one of the great stories of the season. They already became the first WNBA expansion team to make the playoffs in their inaugural season. Tonight, they can clinch the 6th seed with a win or a Fever loss. And then the 2nd seed, as we just mentioned, it is up for grabs. The Aces, they will take that spot if they win out against the Sky and the Sparks, but a loss in one of those games, that would open the door for the Dream, currently the number 2 seed, to really clinch that. This is very different, Chiney, than the way that we were talking about the Aces the last time we were on air. They have caught fire. They have won 14 straight games here. How exactly did that happen? Let's just take a look back here at the Aces season. It wasn't the start that Vegas wanted, right? Through August 2nd, Vegas sat at 14-14 on the season, only in a playoff spot by half a game. That was up until August. The team had not been more than 2 games above 500 once all season. So the low point, of course, was on August 2nd.
Yes.
That was at home against the Lynx. The Aces would lose 111-58, the 2nd largest blowout in W history. Here's the message Aja left her team with.
I feel like one thing I did do is send a message to them and just say, if you weren't embarrassed from yesterday, then don't come into this gym.
So after that game, though, it's been nothing but aces for Vegas. Becky Hammond's squad has rattled off 14 straight wins, Chiney.
Yeah, they're cooking, and it's largely because Asia has willed them to step up their competitive level, and everyone has responded in grand fashion. Chelsea Gray cooking. Jackie Young has been phenomenal, but right there, I mean, she has been a beast, averaging 27 so far in this win streak.
And you can see the MVP odds shifted as well. Here's Wilson on letting games in the season come to her during this win streak.
Told myself after All-Star break to just let the game come to me. Like it's going to be what it's going to be. And if I try to harp it and force it because I want this win so bad for my team, it's like forcing a fart. All you get is shit. So like I've just really like learned to be patient with myself, but also my teammates. And so I think that game kind of showed it.
That's going to go.
Is us. So again, here's a look at where the Aces were and how they have catapulted up the standings. They were the 8th seed back on August 2nd, and now they're the 3rd seed with a chance at that number 2 spot. Chiney, what is the reason for this amazing turnaround?
Look, I am a huge fan of Asia Wilson, but she lying. She does not let the game. She goes and snatches. She doesn't wait for it to come to her. The most impactful, to answer your question, the most impactful player in the WNBA, averaging 8 points and 5 rebounds, Melissa Smith. That has been the catapult to help them, the Las Vegas Aces, to really get back into this winning column. You think about, their win streak. I mean, right now they're 19-6 when she's been a member of the Las Vegas Aces.
Right.
She's a competent player. Before there were players out there that were a little bit more liabilities offensively, but stronger defensively. Now she's all-around type of player surrounding Asia, making the right plays. She can feed Asia. She can knock down an open shot. That And also, Jackie, that also in Jewel Lloyd going to the bench, I think actually helped because the big issue for the Aces was their depth. So those two role player factors, one being a star previously, but also assuming this veteran role going off the bench on top of Melissa Smith has really helped them.
Yeah, they've been able to organize their offense, that hole that Kelsey Plum left when she went to the Los Angeles Sparks. It really feels like the Aces are rounding into form at the right time, and it's making it incredibly difficult on MVP voters that are trying to decipher down the stretch of this season right now. So we mentioned that's one of the big storylines we will be following. Another one is the Sparks. They have a little bit of a tough hill to climb. They need to beat both the Mercury and the Aces, plus get a little help from the Storm. They need the Storm to lose to the Valkyries tonight to clinch a playoff spot. Right? Chiney, who do you think is most likely to wrap up that 8th seed?
Honestly, I thought it was a coin flip, you know, because if I'm going to pick the Seattle Storm for reasons everyone understands. Not the reason why I'm wearing green, but more so because if you're going to go up against the Lynx, you need veteran leadership. You need someone that understands what the stakes are going up against the best of the best. Nafisa Collier is a machine. I believe the Storm, who, by the way, 2-2 versus the Lynx so far, compared to the Sparks, I believe they lost all 4 games to the Lynx. Like, they've shown in spurts that they can be a true challenger. And especially, like, it's not just playing against, you know, Nafisa and Courtney and the stud buds whom we all come to love and Kayla McBride. It's also Cheryl Reeve. She is one of not even just WNBA basketball's greatest minds, and I believe that you need that veteran presence to go up against them.
So you do think it's not just the fact that you think Seattle is going to be the team. They have an easier path. They don't need help from another team, right? Win and they're in, essentially. So it's not just the fact that you think that they're more likely. You think they would be the tougher out for Minnesota, a team that has been head and shoulders above the rest.
Right now, Minnesota knows what they're doing. They clearly, the Storm, whoever plays them, are going to be underdogs. But I do want to give a nod to the Sparks because they have been amazing since All-Star break. I mean, Rakia is a superstar in the city, one of those players that can be 3-and-D, you know, 6 feet, can shoot. And then also De'Erica's consistent. Kelsey and also Julie Ollivant has really helped them, you know, especially when you see Kelsey, you know, as a point guard, maybe take the pressure off of her so she can be her best as a shooting guard.
Right.
They have optioned the Sparks. So I still think it's a coin flip, but Seattle does determine their own destiny.
Yeah, and when you have control over your own destiny, it's always just a little bit easier. But these next couple of days are going to be so much fun to follow. We have our next WNBA game tonight at 7:30 Eastern between the top teams in the league, the Minnesota Lynx and the Indiana Fever, fighting for positioning. Coverage tips.